breaking news coming out for Social Security. In the last 24 hours, the Biden administration has had a big announcement. So if you're somebody that collects SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, retirement, any of these fixed income benefits from the Social Security Administration, you're going to want to watch this video all the way through. And also, what about those increases to the benefits that we were supposed to get of about $200 per month that was promised by the Biden administration? Well, stick with me through this video. I'm going to be covering all the latest details about what has just changed and also those increases to benefits. But first, let's take a look at the headlines of this official press release that came out in the past 24 hours from the White House. That reads, President Biden announces his intent to nominate Martin O'Malley to be the commissioner of the Social Security Administration. That is right, a new leader for the Social Security Administration, which means hopefully the Biden administration and Congress are now turning their attention towards Social Security, as 2023 is supposed to be the year of reform. And this is a step in the right direction as they are now changing hands of leadership. And articles coming out like this in the past 24 hours, Biden taps former Maryland governor for Social Security commissioner. Biden chooses former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley to lead the Social Security Administration. And this is a step, as I mentioned, in the right direction, as a lot of people are saying, hey, this is supposed to be the year of reform, yet we have seen very little come to fruition for Social Security. Now, we have seen tons of pieces of legislation come forward, but none have actually gotten traction as of yet. And one of the favorites earlier this year by far was the Social Security Expansion Act, which proposed adding an additional $200 per month or $2,400 per year to expand the checks that beneficiaries would receive. And this was reintroduced in Congress. But the piece of legislation that has gotten the most traction by far is none other than the Social Security 2100 Act, which attempts to protect and expand the benefits. This legislation would expand Social Security's modest benefits, so there would be increases with no cuts, and it keeps the system strong for decades to come. So, as I mentioned, stick with me. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest with Social Security and this breaking news that has come out from the Biden administration in the past 24 hours. Now, before we dive in, though, do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for me. Thank you so much. Helps out the channel a ton. And if you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. I'll let you know everything going on with Social Security, Congress, our economy, so you know the latest. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so first up, link in the description below to this article that says Biden chooses former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley to lead the Social Security Administration. This article says that President Joe Biden on yesterday, nominated former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley to lead the Social Security Administration. If confirmed, O'Malley would run one of the biggest social programs in the nation and grapple with the surrounding uncertainty over its funding. As we've mentioned, it could run solvent here in about the next 10 years. Roughly 70 million people, including retirees, disabled people, and children, receive Social Security benefits. Governor O'Malley is a lifelong public servant who has spent his career making government more accessible and transparent, while keeping the American people at heart of his work, Biden said in a statement. As governor, he made government work more effectively across the administration and enhanced the way millions of people access critical services. O'Malley served as Maryland's governor from 2007 to 2015 and was Baltimore mayor for 2 years. He also ran as a Democratic presidential candidate in 2016, but has ruled out running in the future. The annual Social Security and Medicare Trustees report released in March says the program's trust fund will be unable to pay out full benefits in about 10 years. If the fund is depleted, the government will be able to pay out only about 80% of the scheduled benefits, the report says. I mentioned this on the channel. If you collect about $1,000 per month from the Social Security Administration and they do not fix the funding issues, there will be cuts across the board of around 20 to 25%. So if you get $1,000, you'll only get around $800 to $750, and this will happen to everybody in every category that collects benefits from the Social Security Administration, unless they fix the issue before we hit the solvency. There are a few options available to keep the program healthy. Raise taxes. We've mentioned this here on the channel several times. Raise the eligibility age, so that way it takes longer to get full benefits. Cut the costs, and this has also been proposed as well to the Social Security Administration, or rely more on general revenues to cover the gap in funding, which could mean a higher budget deficit or potential cuts to other programs. All of these options are politically controversial. Currently, full Social Security benefits are available at age 67, an age minimum that's increased by 2 years since the program was first created roughly 90 years ago. Everett Kelly, president of the American Federation of Government Employee Workers Union, applauded O'Malley's nomination and said he is a strong advocate for working people and labor rights, and he has the skills and experience necessary to tackle the various challenges facing the Social Security Administration, like the recruitment and retention of its dedicated workforce. Nancy Altman, president of the Social Security Works, said that her organization applauds the nomination of Governor O'Malley, a long-life Social Security champion. Like President Biden, O'Malley supports expanding Social Security's modest benefits, not cutting them. Last October, the agency announced the Social Security recipients would get an 8.7% boost in their benefits in 2023, a historic increase prompted by record high inflation. Social Security is financed by payroll taxes collected from workers and their employers. The maximum amount of earnings subject to Social Security payroll taxes for 2023 is currently $160,200, up from $147,000 back in 2022. So now that there's new leadership for Social Security, maybe we'll see a little bit more push to get things done, as this is supposed to be the year of reform. And one of the bills that a lot of people have taken to is the Social Security Expansion Act, which had that additional $2,400 a year or $200 per month. Now, this article just came out 4 days ago, and it says on February 13th, Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders formally reintroduced the Social Security Expansion Act to Congress. At this time, he had a lot more support for fellow lawmakers pushing for the initiative. As Go Banking Rate previously reported, the Social Security Expansion Act was first introduced on June 9th by Sanders and U.S. Representative Peter DeFazio. Under the terms of the bill, anyone who is currently collecting from Social Security or who will turn 62 by the year 2023 would receive an extra $200 each and every single month, meaning Social Security recipients could get an additional $2,400 a year in benefits if the bill wins approval, something seniors would no doubt welcome as inflation wipes out their annual cost of living increases. However, as I mentioned, since the reintroduction of that bill, we have heard very little other than updates letting us know that the bill still exists, but it has not gotten traction in Congress, and we've heard that is because President Joe Biden said that its taxation does not align with what he said, and he didn't want to break his promise. Well, what about breaking the promise on the additional $200 per month? Well, one of the bills that has been introduced that does align with some of the things that Biden has said is the Social Security 2100 Act. And this bill, I've let you know, was introduced in Congress by Representative John Larson, and it does all of the things that align with President Joe Biden's 4-point plan, along with having a baseline increase of up to almost $500 per month. Man, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, to get the latest on that, be sure to check out this video right here as I cover it in detail. And in addition to that, if you missed what happened yesterday with Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, check out this video right here, as well as kind of a scary moment that took place. If you didn't see it, check it out. Let me know your thoughts. But with that being said, you guys, that is the latest happening with Social Security. And as I mentioned, I'll keep you up to date on stuff every step of the way, so that way you know what's happening and you don't miss out on anything. But with that being said, I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.